In the next 7 minutes, I want to give you information on how to make sure you're getting your marketing emails to the inbox of the people who you want to read them. And I've got a really sweet resource for you here that you can go to this page. I'll throw the link in the chat so you can see it. And this new rules of email marketing, there's a replay video that's about 25 minutes long that gets into some detail, but I'm going to give you now enough that you'd have enough. You don't have to watch that, but if you want more, you can do that. And just get into what the issues are. So the first piece of it is there's changes around engagement requirements from the big four email service providers. So Google, Yahoo, Verizon, Apple, and Microsoft. So those are the big four. Those are the ones that most people who have an email account, the majority of them are going to be with one of those four. There's some outliers and stuff, but we're looking at 80-20 rule right here, Pareto principle. So we're wanting to solve for that. New around engagement. So when you're doing marketing emails, those four know if people are opening your emails, if they're throwing them away without opening them, if if they're clicking, if it's going to a spam trap. So Google, made changes on December 1st, 2023, shut down a bunch of email accounts that weren't being used. So lots of news about it. So I'm sure you saw that. Here's a piece of that, as I understand it. Some of those email accounts that were no longer being used, Google held onto those and they use them as what they call spam traps. So that if you send an email out and it goes into that email account, Google knows, hey, this person isn't engaged. This account's not even active anymore. Who's ever sending this is not really doing a good job with their list hygiene, black mark against you. So they know that. They know what's happening with it. And further, they're making decisions based on if people are opening or clicking or throwing away or complaining, whatever those are, hopefully opening and clicking, but those big four are making decisions about where those emails go to other people's inboxes. Are they going to go to the inbox? Are they going to go to promotions? Are they going to go to spam? Are they just not going to deliver that email at all? So decisions are being made. So engagement's super important in terms of what it's doing for you and your email marketing campaigns. So no matter what email marketing tool you use, I use Keep a lot. We also work with people who have Pardot, HubSpot, so high level, so many ones out there that people are using. No matter what one you're using, engagement super important. So I've got a link in that post where you can get a free check. It doesn't cost anything, and you can check your engagement score. And it also shows you how to use Google Postmaster tools if you're not using that already. Google will tell you what they think of you in terms of your reputation. Uh, and that's super important. The other three don't share with you what they think about reputation. So there's engagement to think about, and then there's the reputation that those four are keeping track of how they feel about you and what you're up to. So all those things right there. All right, I know we only have 7 minutes, so I'm cranking through it. You can track engagement. So here's a little example, and I'll give you the link so you can kind of zoom in on this and see this a little better. But just for example, you can make in your email marketing automation software, whatever you're using, you should be able to make some type of engagement tool that says, hey, these people, these 330 people have engaged open or click in the last week. These folks in the last 8 to 30 days, etc. And obviously, we want to take people who are in the lower part and have an engagement campaign and move them up the list so you can stay in touch with them. Now, why do this at all? We know that email brings in, according to Litmus, and there's other sources out there. Litmus, I just looked the other day and it said $36 ROI for every dollar put in. So we know even in a B2B situation, we got to get on the phone, we got to go visit in person sometimes to make the sale happen. And yet, even with that, email is the number one tool, sort of after the personal in-person visit, that kind of thing. Email is the next tool available and the most effective. And I love multi-touch marketing. Are you doing that sort of thought of multi-touch where you're going to talk on the phone, send a message, meet at a show, send an email, connect on LinkedIn, all the different places your clients, prospects, customers are? That's what you can do. And so you don't want to like discount email out of that. Got to keep email super important, right? All right, so we talked about engagement, we talked about reputation briefly. There's so much to this to unpack, but you can just go look at that article. And by the way, if it's too long, don't read for you. I put a do this for each of the steps that you want to take. So you can just do a quick search for do this and you'll see it. So authentication is the other piece of this. And so whatever email system you're using, SPF, DKIM, DMARC, those are fancy terms, like not fancy, but whatever. Those are terms for your DNS record, what's happening where your domain is hosted. That's usually where the DNS records are, and you just enter a record there. Let me just show you a quick example. And this can literally take just a few minutes scrolling down. Ooh, I gotta come back to spam bots. So crazy. So here's an example of an SPF record. And this may just look all crazy right here, but you've got an email checker and a free generator. But those things that I just talked about, SPF, DKIM, DMARC, are required starting February 1st by those 4 email service providers. 2 of them are requiring it. The other 2 are going to be right behind them, we know. And so those have to be in place. And really what those are doing is telling the internet world, the email world out there that it's safe for whatever software you're using, Google or Keep or Pardot or your calendar scheduler or Outlook, whatever it is, it's safe for those to send email on behalf of your domain. And if not, then they're not going to deliver it. So that has to be in there now. I know it's kind of a new thing, but got to be in there. Let me wrap up with one final thing about spam bots. This is so interesting. So I'm going to pop back to the share for a second. Check it out. Have you ever seen email addresses that just come in all gibberish like this? Maybe you got an email from them, or you saw like someone fill out a form requesting a meeting or signing up for a webinar or something like that with a crazy email. Those are AI spam bots, and those guys can fill out a form faster and actually fill in that CAPTCHA faster than humans can. And in fact, CAPTCHA is not a solution to spam bots. CAPTCHA irritates humans to the point where 40% of humans just don't fill out the form if they see that, like, click all the squares with the car. And so you'll see that there's a super fast, easy way, spam kill. That's what we use. There's a free trial link here, but for the price of a couple cups of coffee a month, it takes care of all those spam bots. And why do you care? You care because back to that reputation that we just talked about earlier, if any of those big 4 email providers see you emailing junk email addresses, it drops your reputation and they stop eventually delivering your email. So these are all the new rules of email marketing. Wanted to share. Hope it's super helpful. Got any questions about it? Just jump on a 15-minute call with me. Happy to share more. I'll put the link for that here, and have a beautiful day. Bye.